This is the pre-recording of our second tutorial summary with the topic of career decision making. We aim for each summary recording to support our students in the internship, encouraging them to engage in discussion and interactive 5 tutorial classes and to share experiences and information during the internship with the support of a career consultant for feedback at the same time. My name is Bita Zaferanloo, Senior Lecturer and Unit Convener, and with me we have Liz Crosara, Career Consultant. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, the Wurundjeri people of Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Today's career decision-making snapshot will unpack what is career development, the DOTS framework, career development theory, planned happenstance, applying frameworks and theory to your internship. Let's look a bit more deeply into the idea of career development and career decision making. To begin, what do we mean by the term career development? There are 2 simple definitions here. The first one, the ongoing process of an individual managing their life, learning and work over their lifespan. The second one, developing the skills and knowledge that enable individuals to plan and make informed decisions about education, training, and career choices. The key phrase in the second definition is informed decision. In career development, much of our work aims to ensure that the students we work with can make informed decisions, which is why we have an entire tutorial dedicated to career decision making.
So how does career development happen? As noted on this slide, it happens through a series of actions and decisions, through discussions with others, and via a range of different experiences. Career development isn't about a set of steps you decide upon and then carry through in an exact order. It's certainly not a linear A to B journey, which is probably a common misconception. Career development can be messy, a windy road of forward, backward, and sideways steps, intercepted by other demands and commitments in your working and personal lives. As such, it's less about a set career plan these days and more about ongoing career planning. The idea of a 10-year plan really doesn't work these days, so think about short-term goals and short time frames. This kind of thinking can help us be more agile and adaptable, which are qualities in greater demand now in a very rapidly changing world of work. Career development is a cycle of ongoing reflection, career planning. It's about gathering information to make decisions, trying them out, and then moving through that cycle again. It's an ongoing cyclical process throughout your entire working life. So we've established that career development is a cyclical process, and to tie in nicely with this is the DOTS framework. DOTS is a simple model that can guide how you approach your career development and the decisions you make at different stages of your studies and life. Developed by Law and Watts back in 1977, it's often used in career development programs and career counselling. It stands for decisions, opportunities, transition, and self. The cycle typically begins with self-awareness and opportunity awareness before making decisions and transitioning, and then often starts all over again. Think back to when you were making a decision about the course you're in, perhaps, maybe in your final year of school. Most likely you thought about your interests and your strengths in addition to your ATAR. You might have considered opportunities available in the workforce with that qualification and related courses before applying, making decisions about offers, and then transitioning to start uni. And this same process might have also applied even when you applied for your current internship too. So as career practitioners, we encourage students to use DOTS model to assist with career decisions, but decisions are never the first step. before we make any decisions, we need to do a bit of reflecting and a bit of research. Self-awareness includes identifying and understanding your interests, including likes and dislikes, your abilities, your skills, your strengths, your values, your needs and wants. It's important that you consider all of these in your career decisions, as this is core foundational knowledge about yourself upon which everything else is built. If you don't understand yourself, it becomes very difficult to make subsequent decisions about what you want to do and if these will suit you. Just as important is your understanding of the opportunities available to you. This includes career research of occupations, job roles and industries, qualifications, pathways in the labour market. In your internship, that research might be scaled down to researching opportunities available in your workplace, or even finding out about the roles of people in your team. Information gathering and research is a really important part of the opportunity awareness stage. As you undertake your career research, you can then relate that back what you learned to yourself and how it fits in with your own interests, abilities, values, and needs. It's really important that these two stages take place before making decisions, applying for opportunities, and transitioning into and through them. And you can ground your career decisions in who you are and what's important to you, as with this first column on the slide around yourself. And having that knowledge is fundamental to making well-informed career decisions. Just as important is your awareness and understanding of the opportunities available to you. What's possible, what's available, and what's realistic. However, you're never going to have all the information you need to make perfect decisions, and you will need to take up different opportunities in less than perfect circumstances. As is often the case when we need to make a decision, there's usually going to be an element of compromise and risk, as none of us can predict the future.
So a couple of things to consider. As Liz mentioned, careers involve a series of decisions, not just one. When focused with uncertainty, rushing into that decision can lead to regrets. So instead, embracing uncertainty and keeping an open mind allows for growth and learning. Take a time to gather and reflect on reflection about yourself and different opportunities before making any firm decisions. Look before you leap while remaining open to unexpected or unplanned events. So, for example, when buying a car, it's essential to assess needs, research options, consider pros and cons, create an action plan, and then make the purchase. This approach, known as DOTS model, um, as Liz mentioned, about decision making, opportunity awareness, transitions, skills, and self awareness can be applied to career decisions, ensuring informed choices and avoid potential difficulties. So we have established that careers are not linear and career planning is continuous. I want to introduce you to the third concept here, and that is about our lives and our career are influenced by unexpected, unpredicted social and environmental factors and chance events. Unexpected things happen for better and for worse. Regardless, they can play a huge part in our careers, which brings us to the career development theory of planned happenstance.
So there's lots of different career theories, and no single one can explain the complexity of career development for everyone. But planned happenstance is one career theory that I think is especially relevant to the times we live in and might assist you to make the most of your internship and things that come up along the way. Happenstance means luck or chance, so the phrase is a contradiction, as planning and chance typically don't go together. Crumbolt suggests that unplanned events affect everyone's career. It's often these events that can help explain why our careers are not clean-cut, linear A to B journeys. Rather than being negatively impacted by these unplanned events, Crumbolt's theory is about making the most of them and sometimes even planning or widening our exposure to them so we can take advantage of them. And here's what Crumbolt says about unexpected events. Every action we take, every word we speak, results in some consequences we could not have predicted. That does not mean that we have no control over our lives. On the contrary, we have a great deal of control because the actions we take can generate outcomes on which we can capitalize. The outcomes might be different than those we expected, but it's important to realize that our success depends on our ability to create and take advantage of unplanned events. So you may be wondering how you create or take advantage of unplanned events. Let's apply that question to your current internship.
Okay. So there are maybe two parts to this. One part is planning to do things that might lead to unexpected outcomes. For example, taking risks, stepping out of your comfort zone, trying something out, meeting someone new, putting your hand up to take on a task, even if it feels scary to do so. So the other part is having goals, but being flexible about how and where you might achieve them, and being open to opportunities to progress. For instance, a skill you might consider developing in your internship could be something to develop in a volunteer role or side project instead. So really not being fixed on a linear pathway in your internship, but aiming to go with the flow to maximize your exploring to the new things or unexpected things, rather than doing nothing. Taking action in a phase of uncertain outcomes will generate at least the possibility of chance events, which can then open up all sorts of opportunities. Also consider your attributes and how they can help you benefit from unplanned events. You can benefit from happenstance with curiosity, persistence, flexibility, and optimism. Think about your current internship and how it came about. So you have already demonstrated curiosity in pursuing the internship, perhaps persistence to overcome some various challenges in the application process, flexibility in your study schedule to accommodate the internship, and hopefully now some optimism as you start to think about how you might maximize the benefits of something that was unplanned about your internship. So again, rather than leaving it all to chance, you can attempt to put yourself in the pathway of unplanned events with the right mindset and character.
So how will you actively develop self-awareness and opportunity awareness through your internship? Using your internship is a great time to work on those things. So how exactly? When we're talking about self-awareness, it might be considering regular reflection, as discussed in our last topic. Could be keeping a journal, regular debriefing with others about your experiences, and an ongoing process of assessing how this internship meets your needs, interests, and values. In developing your opportunity awareness, think about talking to colleagues informally or via informational interviews, researching the industry you're in, looking at labour market information, asking questions about pathways into roles, doing some networking, being curious, and volunteering for tasks as a way to try things out. How does all of this information align with you and where you want to head in your career? Has it confirmed or has it challenged your career ideas? As an intern, you're already on the self and opportunity awareness pathway. So make the most of your experience to gather as much information as you can.
This brings us to an end of today's summary video. Our next one will look at ethical work practice. Looking forward to meeting you in our interactive tutorial to practice this career-focused concept. Thank you all. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Bita.